everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Fame Game Show. This episode is our Fame Game Showstoppers in Concert Highlight Reel. And now, the star of our show, comedian, producer, MC, songwriter, creator, host, and the man of nearly 3 characters, that dreadful singer, Red Harris.
Hello everyone, I'm Red Harris, and welcome to another episode of the Fame Game Show. In this episode, this is our Fame Game Showstoppers concert highlight reel, showing some of the best moments of our concert that we did on November 18th, 2025 for the holidays. And before we begin, Susie, that darn AI announcer again, is causing all kinds of problems. You know, can you contact technical support on this one, please?
Yeah, I'm sure I can find their number somewhere.
Yeah, check its programming while you're at it, okay?
No, that should be no problem at all.
And maybe kick it a few times. Can you do that too? Or as they say in the tech industry, reboot it. You know that term? Are you familiar?
Yes, I do know that word.
Okay,
yes.
I learned it recently. But okay. You know, it said that I was a dreadful singer. Now, I think it intended, the verbiage is a little off. It meant to say incredible singer.
Incredibly bad is a bit more like it.
My co-host, ladies and gentlemen, Susie Cross, our pretty lady in pink. And Susie, I gotta say, I'm in therapy now.
Oh.
Yep, I am. And you can no longer hurt me with your words.
Okay.
I say this every hour, 10 times. I am incredibly incredible. And that announcer is dumb and wrong and powerful and powered by artificial intelligence.
Well, you are powered by artificial confidence. Anyways, we're here to talk about the Fame Game Showstoppers in concert.
That was a beautiful night. It really was.
Yeah. A special night with many of the best and most popular singers in Las Vegas singing many of your songs.
That's right. It was the best night of my life, I have to tell you. All those very talented and well-known Las Vegas entertainers performing so many of my songs. And additionally, I was allowed to sing a few songs myself, too.
I'm not sure how you got away with that one. I still can't believe you convinced that many people to pay good money to hear you sing. I'm also amazed at how this whole Showstoppers project ever started.
Well, actually, it started with people suggesting very gently, very kindly, and they said, a few other people said that they should get a chance to sing a few songs too and not have me doing all the songs for a change.
Very gently, very kindly, repeatedly.
Well, it started with just one song. And then as we had more and more performers on the show, they got to all do one of my songs and then one of their own as well, if there was time for their song, that is. And then these songs became more and more and more. And before you knew it, we had an album. And before you knew it, after that, we had our big concert.
Absolutely.
Just a few months back.
Well, I guess it's about time I introduce the first song. Grab your coconuts.
And since this whole wild ride started in the very first episode of the Fame Game, this was the very first song featured in that very first episode. So it only seemed right to kick off the concert with the very same song.
So here's Red Harris, joined by Mala Montoya and Sandy Nights with Tiki Leaky Lady.
She's the tiki-leaky lady, yeah, the tiki-leaky gal, oh, the tiki-leaky baby, oh, the tiki-leaky gal, 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 gal. Dark hair and plumerias, she smiles for miles, hair covers few areas, this chick's got style, yeah. She mixes my Mai Tais, no morning till news. Anytime's the right time, like this afternoon. She's a tiki-leaky lady, and a tiki-leaky pal, or a tiki-leaky baby, or a tiki-leaky gal, 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 gal. time. No, it's never too soon. She sways like a night chime. Watch her twirl and spoon. She's my tiki-leaky lady and my tiki-leaky doll. Oh, my tiki-leaky lady. Oh, my tiki-leaky gal, 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 gal. Dreams come true with blue Hawaii. I came in second place in an Elvis lookalike contest. So let's have two. One for me, one for you. Me and you. She's my tiki-leaky lady and my tiki-leaky pal. Oh, the tiki-leaky baby. Oh, the tiki-leaky gal, 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 gal. She stirs my chi-chi, so graceful and slick. She loves to tiki-leaky tease me as she swizzles my stick. Oh, pinky slinky, as the night goes on. Tiki-leaky drinkies, from dusk till dawn. She's my tiki-leaky lady, and my tiki-leaky pal. And my tiki-leaky baby, my tiki-leaky gal, 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 gal. She's my tiki-leaky lady. No time to snooze. Let's have some more booze. Bottoms up. Oh, that's nice. Thank you, baby. Thank you. Okay, oh, that's enough. That's whoa, that's plenty. Oh, wait, well, slow down now, slow down. Wait a minute, whoa. Yeah, my tiki-leaky pal. Tiki-leaky baby. Oh, my tiki-leaky gal, 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 gal. Tiki-leaky lady. Let's give a big hand to the Yachty Girls. Sandy Nights. Miss Mala Montoya. They'll be back in just a little while. Okay, it's great to have everybody here, especially the man standing to my left. This is Jason Marquez, the most well-known, popular Elvis Presley in the world today. And you, Jason, were in our concert, the Showstoppers concert, doing Little Old Me.
That's right.
Did you enjoy that?
Of course I did. And if you don't believe me, here's the clip, Little Old Me from the concert.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Marquez. Here we go.
Well, I know you've had some upsets, far more than you deserve. And the last thing that you need right now is a push you got on your nerves. Now you can wait for your Prince Charming, the savior on the horse. Well, you can do whatever you want to, babe. Of course, the choice is yours. But if the horse pulls up without the white knight, and the big hand's about to strike midnight, and you can't decide what's wrong or right, well, you can count on little old me. Yeah, you can count on little old me. Well, my home's not a castle. There's no drawbridge or a moat. And my life's got the usual hassles, babe, but I'll always keep you afloat. And I can't afford to take you away everywhere you wanna go. But you'll be my princess each and every day, and I'll always hold the door. But if the horse pulls up without the white knight, and the big hand's about to strike midnight, and you can't decide what's wrong or right, well, you can count on little old me. Yeah, there's always little old me. So if the horse pulls up without the white knight, and the big hand's about to strike midnight, and you can't decide what's wrong or right, well, All right. Count on little old me. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I think I owe you an apology. Jason Marquez, he wants to be Elvis. I think he's already made it. What do you think? All right, this next song was a crowd favorite at the concert. It's a little bluegrass number I call The Ballad of Banjo Joe.
That's Joe, J-O.
That's right, no E, we couldn't afford the extra vowel.
Well, inflation did hit the alphabet first.
Now, I distinctly remember asking you at one point, Susie, I know you do country music, but do you even know what bluegrass is? Do you think you could handle that?
And you know what I said? Piece of cake.
From the Showstoppers concert, here's Susie doing The Ballad of Banjo Joe. A piece of cake. All right, is that in relation in any way to the piece of cake I saw you with backstage? That white, beautiful thing I wanted to have a piece of?
There is a piece with your name on it. I think we should just sing the song first.
All right, Susie, let's let you have the floor. Susie Cross going to be doing Banjo Joe.
Kentucky loved to hear her solos with her sweet and saucy ways. Bobby Joe's were Santa Mojo are proven timeless to this day. Big guitar, fiddle, and dobro, how she played and played her dues. It was on her grandpa's banjo. Joe still made her front page news. Woo-hoo! Banjo Joe, there she goes. Picture her picking her, fucking her own banjo. And Banjo Joe's riverboat show. Jiggler, wiggler, squiggler, oh banjo. Her sweet vibe she called bluegrass. Took music where it had not been. Held its own and it would outlast her new band with all her kin. One misty night on the Cumberland, a steamboat met a big iceberg. Going down the band played on to the sound of her last word. And Banjo Joe, there she goes. Picture her plucking her, picking her own banjo. And Banjo Joe's riverboat show. Jiggling her, wiggling her, squiggling her own banjo. People claim that they still see her on some foggy, murky nights when the moon shines on the river and the angle is just right. Mars on guitar and Paws on bass, making music from the shore at her final resting place, where she'll sit forevermore. Banjo Joe, there she goes. Picture her plucking her, picking her own banjo. And Banjo Joe's riverboat show. Jiggling her, wiggling her, squidging her own banjo. Picture her picking her, plucking her own banjo. Jiggling her, wiggling her, squiggling her own banjo. Woohoo! Thank you.
Susie Cross. Hey, Red Harris here. If you're enjoying the Fame Game Show so far, do us a quick favor. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tap the notification bell to receive alerts so you don't miss a single episode. We've got more games, more performances, more singers, more surprises still ahead.
Hello, my name is Richard Decoy, and I have known Red Harris for well over 20 years now. I have assisted him with some of his shows. I've helped him put down his equipment and put him in the van that he had at one time. And I've watched him progress from these shows at the different places in the Strip, like Bally's. And now we've gone all the way up where I got to witness him a few months ago in a show called the Fame Game Showstoppers.
Yep.
And I just couldn't believe, number one, that I was watching a culmination of all of his songs that he's done, and that he had all of these people step up that were willing to do the songs along with him at the same time. It was a great experience. I was very impressed with it. My first question that I have for you is, what inspired you to have a career in entertainment in the first place?
I think I could probably answer that in 2 words. Jack Benny.
Ah, yes.
And 2 more words. 3, technically. Laurel and Hardy.
And you and I have talked about them many, many times in the past.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sure.
So have you feel like you've emanated from them, or they just inspired you to become an entertainer yourself?
Well, I knew, my mother and I watched Laurel and Hardy together. I had a projector. And by the time we got done watching that 3-minute, that's all I had was 3 minutes worth of that movie on 8mm. We were done. I thought I understood comedy because my mother explained it to me. And I knew that's what comedy is.
Jack Benny was a person with his timing. He didn't even have to talk.
Oh, yeah.
All he had to do was to take that look like this, and then just turn to the camera, make that expression on his face, and we all went crazy.
Pure genius.
Yes, he was.
Funniest man that ever lived, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So you started out with the inspiration from him.
Uh-huh.
Now, one of the first songs, and that was put into your show, was the Tiki Leaky Lady.
Yes.
What was your inspiration for that? I have a hunch where it may have came from, but I'm curious to see if I'm right.
Well, I built what I called the Tiki Leaky Village in my backyard. And when I started finishing it up, I thought, I need to write a song about this.
Okay.
And it was Tiki Leaky Baby when I started recording it. And that it shouldn't be baby, it should be lady. Tiki Leaky Lady. So I changed it while we were recording the song.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
On the spot.
And I love the whole tiki feel, the whole island thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how much of that was inspired by, for example, I went to Disneyland one time, and I called and talked to you about that. I said, hey, I was just at the Tiki Village in Disneyland. And
The Enchanted Tiki Room.
The Enchanted Tiki Room, right.
Yeah.
And do you remember what your words were to me?
I don't remember the conversation,
But
I probably said it was my all-time favorite attraction at Disneyland, though. When I went into that, I sat down and I thought, oh my God, this is the most incredible attraction at Disneyland, and I fell in love with it that day, and I've been a tiki kind of guy ever since.
yes, you have, because your house is full of it, and hopefully you're...
And I'm full of, people tell me.
That is very true, too. Now, you went from writing the Tiki Leaky Lady.
Yeah.
Where did you come up with Boonderayli?
Oh, well, actually,
Polka.
that was before that.
Good grief.
I wrote Boomberayli Polka when I just called it Boomberayli Spear originally when I was in bed about 7 years old. My parents used to punish me by sending me to bed. And so I would lay there looking at the ceiling in the middle of the day, and I would start singing songs. And that one was somehow inspired by a movie and a play I've never seen. It's called The Music Man. And somehow that inspired that song. Don't ask me how or why, because I still can't figure it out.
I'll be doggone.
Yeah.
Which
you.
brings up the next song that I want to talk about.
Sure.
Little Old Me. Now, before you, the way it came across to me is that you either had experienced this yourself, or this was something that a friend of yours had told you about that they had experienced. And I mean, the sensitivity of that song is really strong.
Well, I can tell you the way that came about was I used to go to Buddy Greco's parties that he'd have every Memorial Day weekend. And I went one year and there was an Elvis Presley there. And he had two beautiful girls singing his backup stuff. And one of those girls I was nuts about. And so I approached her and told her, I really want to meet you, da 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 da. Next thing you know, we're dating a little bit. And I couldn't really get her the way I wanted to get her. So I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll write an Elvis type song that her Elvis guy would hopefully sing in his shows. And then every time that happened, she would have to think about me.
Right.
And that's how that song came about. Now, the words behind it, I figured I didn't have a chance in the world with her, and that's where the lyrics came from.
Okay, and that makes all the sense in the world. And what's great about that is I think most of us men can identify and sing that song about some personal experience that we've had in our life too.
Oh, cool.
Absolutely.
Well, that song's called Little Old Me, and I got the best Elvis in Vegas to do it in the Showstoppers show, Jason Marquez. I'm really happy about that.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
On your experiences, you're going along, you're doing the Fame game, you've been doing these other things, and all of a sudden one day you call me up and you said you're going to Nashville. Now, did your the Ballad of Banjo, was that written in Memphis, for Memphis?
No, I wrote that song for this my second trip to Nashville.
Okay,
not my first one.
Right.
And no, I never wrote a song in Nashville. I wrote them all here in Las Vegas.
Okay.
All my country songs. That particular song, when I was sick as a child, I was very, very sick. I had to stay home from school for a couple days, and as I was sick, I remember just going, Banjo Joe, Banjo Joe. And I was about probably 7 or 8 years old.
No kidding.
But all I had was just those 2 words. It wasn't
Okay.
a song. And then later on, I thought, oh, someday I got to write a song called Banjo Joe, and that's how that came about. And the plot of the song, which starts out innocently enough, and it goes absolutely nuts. My producer in Nashville said, "You can't do that. That's crazy. Those lyrics are crazy." I said, "Those are the lyrics, and that's what we're going to use," and that's what we did.
To segue in, you also have had other songs that you've done. The Rain song.
I Love the Rain.
I Love the Rain. That, as I'm sitting in the audience, that really touched me.
Did it? Oh, good.
Yeah. Now, was that from a personal experience that came?
Yeah, actually, now that you mention it, I guess it did. When I moved to Las Vegas, there was a girl I was dating, and we went out on a lunch date one time.
Okay.
And so we sat at an outside table at a restaurant, and the rain started coming down while we were sitting at the table. And I go, "We're going to get drenched." And we both look, who cares? And the rain just started falling and falling. And I'll never forget the thunderclap that I thought was next to me. It was so loud. I think it must have hit right next to me or so. I didn't see it, but it just, it shocked me. And I thought, oh, I love this. I love this feel. And when I lived in California, we got rain quite frequently. And I didn't think 2 ways about it. But when I came to Vegas, where we don't get enough of it,
Correct.
I realized I love the rain. And I wrote that song about that.
Well, what was really cool is in the Showstoppers, you had Thunder and Lightning that you put into the song itself.
Yeah.
And the way it came across was really strong and just emphasized the song that much more.
I appreciate you remembering that, because when I was writing this song, I remember saying to myself, I loved it so much, I said, this is the greatest song as I was writing it, this is the greatest song I have ever written, and it's the greatest song I will ever write. And to this day, I've written a lot of songs since then, but I still feel that way about that song. That's my all-time favorite song.
Awesome. Yeah. Now let me ask you, you've done Showstopper 1. Somewhere you and I've talked, and I believe there's going to be a Showstopper 2 that's going to
Yeah,
come
it
along.
looks pretty much like we are going to do that. We're going to do it again around between Thanksgiving and Christmas like we did last year. I've already talked to several of the singers that were in Showstoppers 1 that have agreed to do Showstoppers 2.
Okay.
I'm not going to have all the same singers. I'm not going to have all the same songs. And we're going to have what we're going to have. And I'm really, really, really excited.
Well, I want to thank you for taking the time and asking me to do the interview with you.
Thank you for taking such an interest in doing such a terrific job. I didn't know exactly what you were going to ask.
You didn't.
So that made it fun
Good.
for me.
I'm glad to hear that. So this is Richard Decoy along with Red Harris. Take care.
I'd like you to welcome Monique Maffei.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Monique, thank you for being here. We don't have a lot of time to talk. They're cutting us short, but we certainly have time for you to do this song.
Okay.
Monique is going to sing the song I'm most proud of any song I've ever written in my life, and she does it so much better than I'd imagined. Please, big hand for Monique Maffei on I Love the Rain.
I see jewels in the sky, twinkling tonight. Thoughts start to drift, descend and lift. My mind resigns. The serene outdoors, the thirsty floor. I sense it's near before it's here. The gentle downpour. I love the rain, dum da 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 da. I love the rain, dum da 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 da. I love the rain, dum da 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 da. I love the rain, dum da 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 da. Oh, it's something, really, really something. Rhythm's got me humming today. Sure is something, really, really something. The sky's got me drumming away. The trade winds blow, temps high to low, flow back and forth from south to north. The ebb and flow, the quiet outdoors, the ocean roars. Rainbows appear before it's near the breaking shore. I love the rain, dum da 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 dum. I love the rain, dum da 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 dum. I love the rain, dum da 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 dum. I love the rain, dum da 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 dum. Oh, it's something, really, really something. Rhythm's got me humming today. Sure is something, really, really something. The sky's got me drumming away. Come on out, yeah. The water's fine, yes. La 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 la. It's getting cold. Time turns to snow. In the black of night, all I see is white. What a winter show. The brisk outdoors, I so adore. I can feel it near before it's here. A gentle downpour. I love the rain, dum da 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 dum. I love the rain, dum da 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 dum. I love the rain, dum da
When this episode ends, the fun doesn't. Catch more episodes, performances, and Fame Game moments right after this one, or click the video on the end card to keep the party going. And for everything Fame Game Show, visit famegameshow.com.
We hope you enjoyed our Showstoppers concert film. For our final clip of the night, we'd like to show you Red singing the Boomba Rayleigh Polka.
Oh, yeah. Goodbye for now, everybody. But Susie, I got a question for you.
Sure.
Now, my memory is not what it used to be. I'm the first to admit it. But if I remember correctly, you were supposed to give me a cake for singing the polka.
Oh,
Remember that?
I gave it to you. Yeah, just watch and see.
A quiet little ballad that I think is important that we respect where we're from. Now, if anybody here is Russian or German or Polish or Cajun or Asian, Chinese, Japanese, this sort of conglomerates it all together as a really cool pub song. You know what I mean? You know, a drinking song. And it's called the Boomba Rayleigh Polka. I wrote it when I was 7 years old, and it's going to sound that way, I think. Here we go. Thank you all for being here. We love you all. You bet. When I was a baby, or perhaps a tiny tot, I suppose I could have been 18, any older, likely not. I had an old transistor, slept with it in my ear. The ditty I kept hearing was inspiring yet unclear. Oh, Boomba Rayleigh, Boomba Rayleigh, Boomba Rayleigh spear. Sing it with your neighbor and raise your glass of cheer. Boomba Rayleigh, Boomba Rayleigh, Boomba Rayleigh Stein. If ale makes your poison, then pop another wine. The more I listened to the tune, the less I knew I know. But that's the way it's meant to be, or at least I'm thinking so. When I had awoken, a crowd of 40K was partying and posing, and all I heard them say was Boomba Rayleigh, Boomba Rayleigh, Boomba Rayleigh spear. Sing it with your neighbor and raise your glass of beer. Boomba Rayleigh, Boomba Rayleigh, Boomba Rayleigh Stein. If lager ain't your poison, then pop another wine. Drink your troubles away. Drink for most today. Drink your troubles away. Drink for 3 whole days. Drink your troubles away. Drink for most today. Drink your troubles away. Drink for 3 whole days. Boomba Rayleigh, Boomba Rayleigh, Boomba Rayleigh spear. Sing it with your neighbor and raise your glass of beer. Boomba Rayleigh, Boomba Rayleigh, Boomba Rayleigh Stein. If lager ain't your poison, then pop another wine. Oh, yeah.
I got you something.
Is that the cake I wanted?
It is the cake that was promised.
Susie, you shouldn't.
Oh, I should have.
No, you shouldn't.
A long time ago.
Boomba Rayleigh, Boomba Rayleigh, Boomba Rayleigh spear. Sing it with your neighbor and raise your glass of beer. Boomba Rayleigh, Boomba Rayleigh, Boomba Rayleigh Stein. If lager ain't your poison, then pop another wine.
Again.
Boomba Rayleigh, Boomba Rayleigh, Boomba Rayleigh spear. Sing it with your neighbor and raise your glass of beer. Boomba Rayleigh, Boomba Rayleigh, Boomba Rayleigh Stein. If lager ain't your poison, then pop another wine.
One more time.
Boomba Rayleigh, Boomba Rayleigh, Boomba Rayleigh spear. Sing it with your neighbor and raise your glass of beer. Boomba Rayleigh, Boomba Rayleigh, Boomba Rayleigh Stein. If lager ain't your poison, then pop another wine.
Thank being here. And thank you, Susie. Thank you, Showstoppers. Thank you, wonderful Showstopper band. And thank you all for being here. Thank you, Opportunity Village, for partnering with us. Thank you all so much. And we hope to see you here next year for Showstoppers 2 with a whole bunch of brand new songs.
Thank you, everyone. You have drive safe. Have a wonderful evening. Happy holidays. Thank you for being with us tonight.
Bye, everybody.